Today, I'm joined by Polina Braunstein, who is the CEO of Quake Global, very interesting company. Polina, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So Polina is in sunny San Diego, lucky you.
Can't complain.
Yes, so tell me, for those of our viewers who are not familiar with Quake Global, give us just a little 5,000 feet in the air background on the company.
Quake Global is US-based company that started in 1998, headquartered located in San Diego, with an important mission to provide remote monitoring to the critical assets for critical government operation, mining operation, oil and gas operation, as well as healthcare and assisted living communities.
I see. Now, you utilize RTLS and RFID, I think, is that correct?
So RTLS is a solution, RFID is a technology. So we're utilizing RFID technology to provide solution for hospital institution.
And you fix something to a device and monitor the activity of that device?
That's exactly correct. So we're tagging devices, we're tagging people, we're tagging, we call assets in a hospital. An asset in a hospital can be anything from wheelchair to IV pump to medication to specimen to surgical instrumentation to the patient, to the doctor, to facility management equipment. So anything that enable hospital to see movements of the specific assets and relate the movements to the process.
But when you say medication, can you give me an example of that?
Absolutely. So let's see a patient was assigned by oncologist to go through chemotherapy. And patients show up for infusion needs. Patient with Quake technology can go through the auto check-in process in a hospital, avoiding any of this signing processes and steps. The patient simply can walk in from an entry door and hospital will be notified that patient showed up. The doctor will be instantly notified that the patient showed up for the treatment. The nurse personnel that's supposed to assist the patient will be notified. The pharmaceutical organization of the hospital will be notified. And at the time when the patient sits in a room to receive the infusion, at the time when the nurse comes to check out the bag or medication for infusion, the specifically assigned nurse, as she or he showed up at the pharmacy, will receive the bags that's specific for this nurse and specific for this patient. When the nurse will bring into the room the medication, it's instantly the system will receive, Epic system, Cerner system will receive notification that this is a correct patient with a correct medication, and that can be dispositioned to the patient. If by accident nurse walked into the wrong room or comes close with this medication to a patient that this was not assigned, the alert will be sent across organization, including the nurse.
Does the patient wear a bracelet, or how does what?
The patient wears similar bracelet when everyone wears when you're checking into the hospital. The bracelet looks exactly the same. However, it has embedded passive RFID technology. It's the same printable bracelet. It has exactly the same feel as any standard bracelet in a hospital, but it's definitely enable us to have three-dimensional view of the movements and correlation in specific operations.
And then the chemotherapy drug must also be labeled in some way.
That's correct. It's a similar barcode, standard barcode label that applies on the back today. It's exactly the same barcode label will be implemented with a passive RFID integrated antenna in the back of the label. So if before the barcode labels was providing very static element of control of count, today a very similar label, printable label, enable hospitals to have three-dimensional view of room level visibility in any steps, processes, movements, or executions of the steps.
I see.
So in some way, as you understand, if the barcode label looks the same, and the patient wristband looks the same, and the doctor badge looks the same, then it means that we're really not distracting hospital operation. We're not distracting the front end of the hospital to utilize the technology because we're not changing the processes. We're simply just giving to each individual process three-dimensional view of actions.
So and I'm not sure if I'm taking feedback. The technology, I understand, and I understand that the attaching the barcode is the same process. There must be a step in there to link the device or the person to the tag, but what challenges does it present as compared to what is currently done? Or is that an okay question to ask?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting. Majority of the medical institution today utilizing active technology such as BLE and Wi-Fi technology. And on one side, technology is acceptable for use, but on another side, technology eventually need to have replacement of the battery. It doesn't matter. The battery will die in a device, on a taggable device, 1 year later, 5 years later, 10 years later. The fact is that you need to replace this battery. It's a big problem. So with the passive RFID technologies, there are no battery. You place the tag, and instantly you in control of this asset, doesn't matter what it is, for the next 50 years.
I see.
The way how it's achieved. So hospital utilizing a variety of different systems. They have patient database, which is Epic or Cerner. They have security database. They have HR database. They have ERP system. What we do, we linked our software to connect to each of these individual systems. And right now, if we connected to the ERP system, every time when shipping and receiving receive something, they have ability to print the label that actually has RFID tag on that and put this label on a package. From this point forward, this package becoming traceable package, not any different with the pharmaceutical element, be linked to the pharmaceutical system. So be fully integrated with that. And by enabling connection to the hospital systems, we really understand what process flow hospital is planning to execute for today. And the process flow may rotate around the patient, or the process flow may rotate around the staff, doctors. Let's look at the surgical element of the business. The doctor scheduled to be performing a surgery for the day. And for this surgery to be perfect, the room needs to be cleaned up on time. The surgeon has requirements for specific surgical instrumentations that he prefers to use during the surgery for this specific patient. The patient needs to be prepped on time. And if you think, it's a variety of different hospital functions that need to work in parallel to execute all of this timely, right? Today, without having a one single system that connects to a variety of different databases, it's impossible to do. If you're not connected to HR database, you don't know what resources will be available. If you're not bringing resources at hospital.
So, interrupting. If the nurse feels that she has if the nurse is carrying the wrong bag of chemotherapy, how is she notified? On her phone, by email? How is she notified?
Variety of different ways. She receives alert notification on her personal phone. She receives alert notification via email as well as in addition to the nurse, pharmaceutical team receives similar notification, as well as doctor and other staff members receive notification. So it's a variety of ways to prevent the failure.
And this is the same true when the patient walks through the front door. All the people who are notified by email or
That's
phone.
correct. That's correct. All the people that involved in treatment of this patient get notified by phone, email, as well as sometimes patient decide to take a different route in a hospital that is outside of the route that he or she should be taking. The system will notify the personnel as well.
Yeah. Now, and this data incorporated into Epic and Cerner, or is it? Do you have to use a different interface to see it?
So again, Quake provides information on location. This is the reason why system base function is real-time location system, right? So Quake system provides notification of location of individual or asset in a hospital. Then this location linked to events scheduled in Epic. So if Epic said that Mr. Smith has appointment with the doctor at 10 a.m., then Quake system instantly understand that the patient should be at the room 320 on the third floor.
Right.
So as a minimum, if the patient is not at this point enters the hospital yet, then its probability that patient will meet doctor appointment on time is very slim. A notification goes to the doctor stating that patient did not go through the auto check-in. Patient is not in a hospital yet.
What about HIPAA and security?
Security, interesting question. So security is a big topic for a variety of reasons. Again, we heard several years ago, there are a few large hospital institutions that suffer from a point that previous employee enters a hospital and some shooting occur in a hospital. There are elements of certain security where certain room can be entered by only specific employee of the hospitals. So as of right now, Quake integrated with the security system of the hospitals, with the camera of the hospitals, that we have ability not only to trigger the event of interest. Again, for security people, its event may look different. I don't want a certain people to enter the building, and if somebody does, notify me. Well, there are clinical personnel that actually utilizing security as well. And those security relates to, hey, this asset should never leave my premises. And when it does, please take a picture of the event and send this photo with the asset, with the individuals that carry the asset to security staff and clinical crews that owns the asset. So this is the element of security. I will tell you another element of security, which is responsible for people's life. Somebody goes through cancer treatment, and individual goes through the surgery. Through the surgery, there are certain items that get extracted from an individual. And this is lymph nodes and tumors. And so quantity of specimens during surgical procedure can run anywhere from 1 to about 10, 15. The reality of all of these different bag and bottles to end up in a pathology lab, it's not 100%. But what oncologists need, it's 100% insurance that every one of the specimens that was extracted will end up in a pathology lab, because the treatment of the patient belongs to clear understanding of every one of the specimens. So reality of the security system, how that will be applied. God forbid, it's not intentional event, but the surgical nurse only grabbed 5 out of 6 specimens collected from a patient and brought only 5 of them into the pathology lab. And 1 of them ended up in a trash. As soon as this trash will be taken out from a facility, it will instantly alert. Every single door in a hall, in an exit, will alert there is a critical element in this trash. That is important.
Well, I have to say that I don't know why we're feedback. I have to say that this is really, really interesting technology, and I very much appreciate you joining me today. I'm so very impressed with what you're doing. It's a little bit Big Brother-ish, but I can see how the net result will be extremely positive, both for patient outcomes and efficiency and patient comfort. So congratulations on your design. And you know, if you make it to New York City and you're in the neighborhood, come in and have coffee with us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Paulina, it's very nice to meet you, and keep us appraised of your activity.